Hi everybody, in this tutorial video, we will be setting up the LabRecon folder and walking through the basic functions of LabRecon. First we'll begin by opening the latest version of LabRecon. Here we see the startup screen. You can just close it since we don't need it for now. Next we'll see the tutorial screen. If you'd like to view more tutorial videos, you can do so at labrecon.com/help or on our YouTube channel. Under the link, we're prompted to create a LabRecon folder. It's important to make this folder since it allows the user to save any projects, settings, or configurations made in LabRecon. We can make the folder either in My Documents or on the desktop. To create on the desktop, simply click Create on Desktop. Now the folder has been created. If we open up the folder on the desktop, we can see that there are folders for log files and any projects we might create. Configurations for the LabRecon image server and encoder CAD will also be saved here. You can learn about how to set up each of these in the tutorial video called Setting Up the Image Server and Encoder CAD. So if we go back to the LabRecon program, we can see the Startup menu and the Sample Projects menu for LabRecon. Let's open up the skydiving experiment. In this experiment, you can see different data such as velocity, acceleration, and altitude, and the time values. We can change any of these initial conditions because of the way it is wired. Let's take a look at the wiring diagram now. This may seem a bit confusing at first, but as you make more projects, it will become more clear. Next, we'll show you how to create your own project. After we've closed the sample project, go to the Start menu and click New Project. From here, open up the palette. The palette contains various features such as graphs, LED displays, buttons, text boxes, sliders, and gauges that we can use in our project. In this example, we'll use a slider, a gauge, and an LED. If you'd like to edit any of these displays, you can right-click on the item, such as the gauge, and click Properties. There you can change its color or its range. Next, click the Wiring tab at the top. You can see each of the components that we've placed on the screen. The wiring diagram allows the elements of our project to interact. Let's say we want to make the gauge display the value of the slider, and that we would like the LED to light up after a value of 75. To make the gauge display the value of the slider, simply drag the output of the slider to the input of the gauge. Then to have the LED light up, we'll need to use a little bit of math. Open up the palette, and then drag out the greater than function and the constant function. Wire the output of the slider to the input of the greater than function at the top. Then set the constant value to be 75 and wire it to the bottom of the greater than function. Lastly, wire the output of the greater than function to the LED. Let's go back to our project and see if it works. As you can see, if we slide the slider past 75, the LED will light up. The value of the slider is also displayed on the gauge. To learn more about the features of LabRecon, you can watch the rest of our tutorial series. The links for this series will be listed below. Thanks for watching.